Good day all. Now let us learn a new trick that is from current electricity. This is used to form equations of the circuit given to find the current I1 and I2 and I3. This method does not use the conventional, that is the normal method, that is which is very time consuming. You have to find, you have to use KVL, KCL at all points, and find how the current divides, and then start forming the equation, which is really time consuming. Using mesh analysis, you can use really a less number of time to form the equations. Now let us learn how to do it. Right, the first step in mesh analysis is to mark the direction of current in the loops. Okay, so it has to be in clockwise or in anti-clockwise. It's your wish, but it's important that you have to make sure that you use the same direction throughout the circuit. Okay, so here I have chosen to use clockwise. No, and you have to mark the current, that is I1, I2. You have to give names to current I1, I2 and I3 respectively. So this I have considered this as the loop 1, this has loop 2, and this has loop 3. Fine. So now the mesh analysis also uses the principle of normal KVL, but the equations can be formed super quick. So let us begin with. Now first let us consider loop 1. So before before learning how to form the equations, now let us learn how are signs determined, right? So here you have to take care of two important the sign of the voltages, which is always at your LHS, right? Sorry, RHS. So now what is the sign convention? Suppose if you will be moving your current, that is in your clockwise direction, or throughout this video I will be moving my current in the clockwise direction. So if suppose while moving the current in clockwise direction, if you meet the negative terminal of the battery first, then you have to put positive sign. Just as of now, just understand, for negative terminal you have to put positive sign, and if you meet the positive sign first, you have to put the negative sign, right? As of now, just understand that you have to use the opposite signs. Now while forming the equations, you will understand how the signs has to be applied. Okay, so as of now, understand that if negative terminal of the battery is seen by you first, then you have to use the positive sign, and if positive terminal of battery is seen by you first, then you have to use the negative sign, right? So now let us move on and learn how to form the equation super quick. So consider in the loop 1. What is loop 1? This is loop 1. Here you have to just multiply the resistance by the loop current, the current which is flowing across the loop. Now the first 12 into I1, so 12 into I1 plus 5 into I1 minus I3. So how does this come? First, 5 is the value of resistor into current. The current in you have to keep in mind that always when you consider loop 1, your I1 must be given the first preference minus I3, because 5 ohm resistance lies between loop 1 and 3, correct? So you have to write it as minus, that is first preference has to be given to current I1, and next current which is flowing here is I3, that has to be included with a negative sign. Remember, the loop which is present across which is present nearer to 5 ohm resistor, the corresponding resistor has to be given preference first for I1 and then I1 and I3. So it has to be given a negative sign, and then the next value. So now let us understand how the next, that is plus 4 I1 minus I2. This is also similar to that what we did for the 5 ohm resistor, right? So 4 is the value of current into I1 has to be given the most preference because we are considering loop 1 minus the opposite current. What is the current, the loop which is adjacent to 4 ohm resistor? It is 4 ohm lies between I1 and I2, right? So it has there is loop 2, right? So it has to be I2. So this is how you have to form the equations. So 4 into I1 minus I2 into will be equal to, you have to multiply the value of resistance and current in your left hand side, and to the right hand side of the equation it has to contain the voltage value, right? So if you see the first that is the loop 1, it does not have any voltage source, so the value is 0, so simply it's equal to 0. Now now we have to simplify the equation as 21 plus, that is 21 is 12 plus 5 plus 4 into I1 minus 4 I2 minus 5 I3 is equal to 0. This equation can be written without following all these steps. The equation can be directly written. Let me tell how to do it, right? So if you consider the equation, the loop 1, your work is to find the total value of resistance just by adding it. Now add 12 plus 5 plus 4. The value comes to be around 21, correct? So multiply this by I1, as you are giving preference to equation that it is loop 1, so the preference has to be given to I1. So I1 should be positive, and you have to write it as 21 I1. Okay. Now see which to 5 ohm resistor you have the loop 3 attached to 5 ohm resistor, right? So just add minus 5 into the current which is following through the loop. This is nothing but minus 5 I3. It is how added, and 4 ohm is adjacent to loop 2. So add minus 4 I2. So the equation is 21 I1 minus 4 I2 minus 5 I3, which is equal to 0. I think this will be more easier. Now let us see loop 2. You will understand loop 2 and 3, so you will understand it more easily. So for loop 2, now let us consider loop 2. Here, what is the total value of resistor? Is 4 plus 7, which is nothing but 11. So it is loop 2, right? So the current I2 has to be given more preference. So it is plus 11 I2, and so here see plus 11 I2. Now what are the resistances here? 4 and 7, which both are adjacent to some other loops, that is it is connected to some other loop. So you have to include negative sign with the current of that loop. So minus 4 is adjacent to loop 1, so it is minus 4 I1, and 7, so minus 7 for 7 ohm resistance, it is adjacent to loop 3, so it is minus 7 I3. This is how this equation is formed. So you can rearrange and you can get it as minus 4 I1 plus 11 I2 minus 7 I3. Okay. So now how does this 40 and minus 10 come? So as said already, you have you are traveling it in clockwise direction, and you have positive and negative terminal or battery. While traveling it in clockwise, you first meet the negative sign. As I have said you already, when you meet negative sign, it has to be your value of voltage should be positive. So I have included just 40, and in the case of now let us see how minus 10 has come. Okay, so you are traveling in a clockwise direction, and here is your value of 10. So while traveling in clockwise direction, you first meet your positive terminal of the battery. When you meet your positive terminal of the battery, it means that when you meet the positive terminal, you have to put negative sign, correct? So it is minus 10. So 40 minus 10 is nothing but 30. So this is how the equation has come out. Now let's see how to form equations for loop 3 so that you understand it more clearer. So for loop 3, what are the resistances involved? It is 5 plus 7, which is nothing but 13. So it is loop 3, so you have to put as 5 plus 12, so you have to put it as I3 here. So here as it is loop 3, so you are giving preference to for the current I3, so it is I3 here. And then we have two other resistances which are adjacent to some other loops also, right? So for that, what we have to do is 5 the 5 ohm resistor, which is minus 5, is adjacent to loop 1, so minus 5 I1, and 7 ohm, so minus 7, which is adjacent to loop 2. So you have to add these four resistance. In the same way, you have to find the value of voltage as we have done in loop 2. So to find that, the current is moving in clockwise direction. So first is your 10 ohm battery. So while moving in clockwise direction, you first meet your negative terminal. So as it's negative, you have to write the value as positive here, and then you're traveling in positive direction, and here you have 60 ohm battery. So while traveling in clockwise direction, you first meet your positive terminal, correct? So if you are meeting your positive terminal, then you have to put your negative sign, so you get minus 60 over there. So 10 minus 60 is minus 50, so sorry, it's minus 50. So it is, so rearranging the equation, you get this equation. So solving this equation, you can do your problem super quick. Believe me, for teaching it takes time, but for doing by yourself, it takes less than 1 minute to solve to get the equations. So after getting the equations, you can use your mathematics this, and you can solve your problem. Hope you must have understood it. Thank you.